Hey guys, it's Steph from Hot Moving. Okay, man. So I'm on my X feed and I see this come from NBA Central, man. I almost thought this was NBA Sentinel. Okay, but no, this is actually real reporting for the New York Knicks reaching out to South Carolina women's basketball coach Don Staley. I mean, the more we get into this with the New York Knicks, man, it's just it's absolutely embarrassing with the amount of coaches that they've reached out to. And it just further confirms that they had no real plans for their head coaching search. Like, they had no coaches in the chamber. Did they expect coaches to just be willy-nilly lined up? Coaches that have jobs, or coaches that had left really good jobs, or got fired. Like Taylor Jenkins from Memphis and Mike Malone from the Denver Nuggets. Okay, then they try to reach out to Jay Wright, who's on TV, who used to be the head coach of the Villanova basketball program, right? Okay, what was it, Dan Hurley from Connecticut, Jason Kidd, if I didn't mention it already. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just what the hell are they doing, man? You know, the more I think, well, I'll save this point. Let's just see what was being said. Okay, this is coming from Knicks Fan TV. Okay, and I guess they're more plugged in. So I mean, look, I guess this is their kind. I guess they're more, Knicks insiders, I guess. Okay, I'll hang my hat on them. If they're plugged in, then cool, because you got some major outlets reporting it. So okay, let's go. According to league sources, both Taylor Jenkins and Mike Brown are headed for a second round of interviews. Michael Norrie is still being considered. That's the assistant. I believe that's the assistant coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Knicks have also reached out to South Carolina head coach Don Staley about the job. Now this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Now, no disrespect to Don Staley. Okay, phenomenal basketball coach, Hall of Fame college basketball coach. She's been doing her damn thing at South Carolina. Why the hell would she want this New York Knicks job? Outside of, and also too, is if she really wants the job, are the Knicks actually going to give it to her though? Right? Why throw her name out there for good press? For a certain demographic or a certain party of people. You know what I'm saying? If Don Staley, and that's what I'm saying, all these guys, right? You're just throwing in Don Staley, right? Okay, well, what about any of the current WNBA coaches then, right? What about the Minnesota Lynx head coach, right? What about the New York Liberty head coach? Is that a female? I don't know. Let's see here. New York Liberty. Let's see here. Who's their head coach? Who's their coach? Either way, if it's a woman and she's doing good, okay, Sandy Brandello, right? What about her? Right? Does she get a shot at the New York Knicks? I mean, she's right in your backyard. You want to go all the way south, right? If you want to go the woman route, which I'm like, yo, I mean, like, I think they're doing a great job at their respective positions. I mean, of course they're gonna get more money going to New York, but or at least going to coaching the Knicks, would be a lot more scrutiny. Wouldn't be really good though, right? Okay, so we're operating with that right now. Okay, so I'm not really rocking with all that at the current moment with what the New York Knicks are doing. And honestly, I mean, you can make. I mean, there's a strong, compelling case that can be made. There's a strong, compelling case that can be made that Tom Thibodeau was probably the best coach. Probably the best coach. You know what I'm saying? Easily. Tom Thibodeau, the more I think about it, it's like, you know what? You should have ran it back. And this is the classic New York Knicks making rash decisions. This seems like a troll interview to get Don Staley. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I'm Don Staley, I'm like, nah, why would you go? Why would you want to coach? Like, the New York Knicks started to look like they had stability. It started to look like it was a healthy franchise. And it still very well may be, right? However, it's starting to crack a little bit with this charade, with this coaching charades going on here. I mean, damn. I mean, Don Staley. I mean, talk about. I mean, and look, man, I'm not even questioning Don Staley's battle. Listen, could she coach New York Knicks? Could she possibly do well as a head coach of the New York Knicks? I don't know. All right, but I'm not going to dismiss it like she can't. But my issue is, why throw her name in there? For what purpose? What does it serve? Unless she's your locked on target as a head coach. I mean, this is not. She's not going to be the head coach of New York Knicks. It's not going to happen. But I just find it very funny now. They're saying that it's Mike Brown. I mean, look, Mike Brown's okay, and I'm not fond of Mike Brown. Mike Brown get a little too emotional for me. And I mean, he has somewhat of a decent track record, but I mean, I feel like we've been through the Mike Brown carousel. The New York Knicks, if you're not like, I get it, you want to get a big name coach, make a splash. You know what? How about you get a coach that's been in the assistant ranks and climbing up, and is doing very well, and build and we need to start having these new coaches build names themselves, right? Okay, the OKC Thunder and Mike Dagnall, right? Doing a good thing. Nobody knew too much about Taylor Jenkins, so he got the job, did very well at Memphis. Obviously, towards the end, they just want to go a different direction, even though they had a very good record when he got fired, right? But that was a guy that, built himself up, took over a young Memphis team, right? We got to start looking at these younger coaches and seeing what they can do, right? And give them a chance. And then now they can establish their culture for years to come, maybe decades to come, possibly, if it has a good run like that. But the Knicks never had a contingency plan or replacement plan. They thought that their brand was going to be strong enough, and that would be good enough for them to go on, and it would be good enough to go on and assume that people are going to be lined up. I'm not saying the job is still not a coveted job, but it doesn't look like a more coveted job now, considering just how they're running. Because so you become the head coach, but then damn, how many people did y'all interview? If I'm one of them coaches, I'm like, damn, you have all these quality coaches. They all said no. Why the hell would I want to take this job? And it's not even about the players in the roster. The roster is very good, especially for this upcoming 25-26 season that can compete very well and probably get to the NBA Finals, at the very minimum, Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, now I think that's not going to happen. I think they're going to sputter out again. I think that for me, they have Eastern Conference Finals talent. But every season, injuries, X, Y, and Z. I can see this team getting bounced in the second round if they're not careful of health, injuries, and a bad coaching hire, right? So, anyways, guys, let me know what you think about all this, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.